You're right, we never really care whether our device uses solid-state batteries or not, as long as the performance is better. We tend to focus only on technical specifications, and most buyers simply want good results that match their personal needs. Who actually cares whether it's entirely made of semiconductor components? Manufacturers often publish data sourced from battery suppliers, but they rarely present the full picture, such as the fact that those batteries don't charge as fast, don't last as many charge-discharge cycles, or can't deliver power as quickly, and so on. Everything sounds great on paper, but we still haven't seen a smartphone that can run TikTok continuously for 7 days without needing to be charged even once. Meanwhile, I still have an iPod that's over 20 years old, which I use every night for more than an hour to help me fall asleep, and its battery still retains at least 80% of its original capacity. In contrast, the battery in my brand new smartphone failed after just 3 years, despite careful use. So what's actually going on here recently? What looks like just an ordinary warehouse building belonging to QuantumScape, located next to a Costco supermarket in Berryessa, has in fact changed the world. QuantumScape has publicly disclosed its mass production process for solid-state batteries at its own manufacturing facility. For a long time, QuantumScape has repeatedly stated that its batteries do not experience performance degradation until temperatures fall below 30 DGC, and it is simply not a fair comparison to pit so-called highest-energy lithium-ion batteries with an energy density of around 700 watt-hours per liter against the QuantumScape E5 battery, which achieves an energy density of 844 watt-hours per liter. So how many charge-discharge cycles can QuantumScape batteries actually endure? What is their plan for large-scale commercialization? And have these batteries truly been put into use in electric vehicles yet? Based on what QuantumScape has published over many years, their battery cells maintain stable performance with approximately 30% reduction until temperatures drop below 30 degrees, and under real-world operating conditions, weather is unlikely to pose a significant obstacle. The bigger issue lies in how comparisons are being made. Many people are placing so-called highest-energy lithium-ion batteries, around 700 watt-hours per liter, side by side with the QuantumScape E5 at 844 watt-hours per liter. But this is fundamentally a flawed comparison from the very beginning. The claim of double the energy density is based on comparing a lithium-ion battery with similar positioning on the power energy curve to the QuantumScape E5 battery. A 700 watt-hours per liter lithium-ion battery takes more than 3 hours to fully charge and sits at one extreme end of the power energy curve. If QuantumScape were to charge its battery so that it occupied the same position on the power energy curve as the 700 watt-hours per liter lithium-ion battery, its volumetric energy density would certainly exceed 1000 watt-hours per liter, something the company has publicly discussed. By contrast, a lithium-ion battery with a similar power energy balance would typically have an energy density of only around 300 to 400 watt-hours per liter. We believe QuantumScape has made a strong case that its batteries are significantly safer, as evidenced by the durability and thermal tolerance tests displayed on its website. In addition, the company has repeatedly explained that when a single battery cell fails, it results in what they describe as a hot rock event, and a hot rock is far safer than an open flame. There may be some level of toxicity associated with such an incident, but the failure is contained and does not propagate to neighboring cells. This is just one of many characteristics that allow QuantumScape to stand out from its competitors. So, is there anything that needs correction or further clarification regarding our understanding of QuantumScape's solid-state batteries? Feel free to leave your questions below so we can discuss them together. Thanks. From this perspective, QuantumScape's batteries are positioned as a no-compromise solution, one that does not require trade-offs between safety, performance, and lifespan, but instead aims to fully meet the most demanding requirements of electric vehicles and potentially even go beyond them. It is precisely this level of completeness that gives the company a very clear competitive advantage in the market. The contrast becomes even more apparent when QuantumScape is placed alongside Donut Labs. While Donut remains largely at the stage of promises, QuantumScape has published performance data under real-world operating conditions, released numerous research papers and accumulated patents over many years, and been transparent about both its chemistry and manufacturing processes, including the technical trade-offs involved. These are areas where Donut Labs has yet to demonstrate comparable substance. For this reason, throughout many videos discussing Donut Labs, Viewers have openly expressed their frustration if the technology truly exists, then publish the patents, license the technology. Those are the real indicators of a genuine product, not overhyped marketing narratives built around the name donut. The difference lies in the approach. QuantumScape proactively explains how its batteries work, while donut tends to avoid the core questions. Up to this point, the market still does not truly know what donut is offering, and the way it has handled its communications has clearly failed to inspire confidence. Donut may still surprise everyone once its battery cells actually appear, but until then, skepticism is entirely reasonable. That said, there is still hope that Donut Labs will deliver some form of useful technology to the world in the near future. However, QuantumScape has made a very smart marketing decision. It opened its doors to the very media outlets that previously covered Donut, allowing them to ask questions directly and see real batteries being produced on real manufacturing lines with their own eyes. This is where the real problem, the so-called death spiral, begins. If you design a battery that uses every single lithium atom for energy storage, with no extra lithium at all, you leave yourself no room for mistakes. In most batteries today, manufacturers deliberately add 20–50% extra lithium. That extra amount acts as a safety buffer. Why? Because every time a battery charges and discharges, a tiny bit of lithium is lost to unwanted chemical side reactions. QuantumScape's battery does not have that luxury. There is no buffer. Every lithium atom matters. If even a small number of atoms are lost, that loss is permanent and directly reduces battery capacity. To put that into perspective, if a battery loses just 0.1% of its lithium per charge cycle, it would be completely dead after only 223 cycles. That is less than 1 year of normal use. For most batteries, that would be unacceptable. In a conventional lithium-ion battery, all the lithium is stored inside the cathode. During manufacturing, extra lithium is included because some of it is sacrificed to form a protective layer on the anode. This layer is called the SEI solid electrolyte interface. You can think of it as a candy shell around graphite particles. It protects the battery, but forming and repairing it permanently consumes lithium. QuantumScape's battery works differently. There is no graphite anode and no SEI layer. Their materials are extremely stable when they come into contact with lithium metal, so that protective layer is simply not needed. The key measurement here is something called Coulombic efficiency. In simple terms, it tells you how much lithium goes back and forth during charging compared to how much lithium is lost forever. QuantumScape reports a Coulombic efficiency of 99.996%. That number is so high that it is actually difficult to measure accurately with standard lab equipment. It means almost no lithium is lost during each cycle. The battery still degrades over time, but mostly because of slow changes in the cathode, a problem that also affects traditional lithium-ion batteries. This is important because in most consumer devices, like smartphones, batteries usually fail on the anode side. The protective SEI layer cracks and must constantly rebuild itself, consuming more lithium each time. That is one of the main reasons phone batteries wear out after a few years. Lithium metal batteries face a different challenge. When the battery discharges, lithium is removed from the metal surface. If that removal is not perfectly even, tiny gaps and voids can form. Eventually, parts of the battery lose contact with each other, and the battery simply stops working. So how do we know QuantumScape's approach actually works? Two less obvious technical details tell the story. The first is operating pressure. QuantumScape's cells work at under 3.4 atmospheres of pressure, roughly the pressure inside a soda can. Most other solid-state battery designs require 10 to 50 atmospheres of pressure, which is like placing the weight of an entire car on top of each battery cell just to keep it functioning. The second detail is cathode loading. This refers to how much active material is packed into the cathode, which directly determines how much energy the battery can store. Thin or lightly loaded cathodes can deliver high power but low total energy. What makes QuantumScape unusual is that their battery can use very thick, heavily loaded cathodes, even thicker than industry benchmarks, and still charge and discharge quickly. Their reported value is 6.2 milliamp-hours per square centimeter. That number may not mean much to non-engineers, but it is strong evidence that their ceramic separator actually works in real conditions. However, there was one major issue they still had to solve, and this part surprised many people. Their battery has no anode when it is empty. Lithium metal only forms during charging. That raises an obvious question: what happens to the battery's size when you charge it? In a normal lithium-ion battery, charging is like putting clothes into a closet. The closet does not expand, The battery might swell slightly around 2–4%, but nothing dramatic happens. In a lithium-metal battery, the lithium itself is the anode. When you charge the battery, that anode physically grows. Based on QuantumScape's own specifications, each cell expands by about 18.5% when fully charged. That means your battery pack becomes nearly 20% thicker every time you plug it in and then shrinks again when you drive. QuantumScape solved this problem with a completely new cell design called the Flex Frame. It is a hybrid between a pouch cell and a rigid prismatic cell. The frame around the battery is stiff, but the face of the cell is flexible. When the battery is empty, the surface curves inward, like a pressed button. When it charges, the surface pushes outward until it becomes flat with the frame. It works like a piston. The cell breathes in and out without pressing against neighboring cells. The idea itself is simple: leave space for expansion. But turning that idea into a reliable, manufacturable battery design is genuinely impressive. So, is QuantumScape's battery truly solid state? The honest answer is partly. On the anode side, there is no liquid at all, only lithium metal and a solid ceramic layer. However, on the cathode side, an electrolyte is still used to help lithium move within the cathode. Because of this mixed design, the battery is more accurately described as a semi-solid state battery. The anode is a major breakthrough, while the cathode remains closer to conventional designs. Much of the debate around battery technology focuses on labels fully solid state, hybrid, or semi-solid. In reality, these terms have no strict definitions. What matters to users is not the name, but how the battery performs. Electric vehicle buyers care about driving range, charging speed, safety, and cost, not technical classifications. The main performance gains here come from the lithium metal anode, which enables much higher energy density and faster charging. Safety is more nuanced. The ceramic layer does not burn, which is a clear advantage, but the battery still contains flammable materials, and lithium metal is highly reactive. It is likely safer than today's lithium-ion batteries, but not perfectly safe. QuantumScape never promised perfection. They promised higher energy density, 15-minute charging, and a scalable manufacturing process, and they have delivered. Solving the long-standing lithium metal challenge marks a significant step forward, even as manufacturing scale and cost remain the next major hurdles. So what are the costs and the production roadmap for this solid-state battery? QuantumScape's solid-state batteries are often described as a breakthrough for electric vehicles, and for good reason. They promise longer driving range, much faster charging, and better safety compared to today's batteries. However, it is important to look at where this technology actually stands today. As of February 2026, these batteries are still in the early stages. They are being produced in small quantities, tested by partners, and demonstrated in prototypes not yet used in cars that everyday consumers can buy. This gap between promise and reality does not mean the technology has failed. Instead, it reflects the normal path of major battery innovations. To understand whether QuantumScape's approach makes sense, we need to look closely at cost, production status, real-world testing, and how those pieces fit together over time. At the moment, QuantumScape's solid-state cells are expensive. Their QSE-5 cells are made at a pilot production line called Eagle, using a specialized process known as Cobra, because production volumes are still low and the focus is on learning rather than efficiency. Estimated costs range from about $400 to $800 per kilowatt hour. That is several times higher than today's mature lithium-ion batteries, which cost around $100 to $150 per kilowatt hour when made at large scale. This difference is not surprising. Early-stage batteries always cost more. QuantumScape's cells rely on new materials and new manufacturing steps that are far more demanding than conventional battery assembly. For example, the ceramic separator at the heart of the design must be made with extremely high precision and handled in ultra-dry environments. Even tiny imperfections can cause defects. So automation and strict quality control are essential. All of this adds cost in the pilot phase. It is also important to understand that the Eagle line is not designed to be cheap. It exists to prove that the technology can be built reliably and repeatedly. Since early 2026, this line has been shipping sample cells to partners such as Volkswagen's battery unit, PowerCo, so they can test performance, safety, and durability. These early samples are about learning and validation, not profit. Looking ahead, costs are expected to fall as production scales up. Industry estimates suggest that once QuantumScape's design moves beyond pilot lines and into early commercial manufacturing, costs could drop to roughly $250 to $350 per kilowatt hour. Later, if the technology is produced in large factories using established supply chains, costs could fall below $200 per kilowatt hour. This pattern closely follows what happened with lithium-ion batteries over the past decade, where prices fell dramatically as volumes increased and processes improved. QuantumScape's business model supports this path. Instead of building massive factories themselves, the company plans to license its manufacturing designs to large partners. This allows companies like Volkswagen to use their existing experience, suppliers, and factories to scale production faster and more efficiently. Volkswagen's continued investment, including milestone-based funding tied to scale-up progress, shows that major automakers see real potential here. The main reasons these batteries cost more today can be grouped into three areas. First are materials, especially the ceramic layer, which currently makes up a large share of the total cost. Second is equipment, since the automated tools needed for this process are new and specialized. Third is overhead, because pilot production is naturally less efficient than mass manufacturing. Over time, improvements in yield, automation, and volume should reduce all three. Production progress has been steady. Since mid-2025, improvements to the Cobra process have already increased output, allowing engineers to collect more data and fine-tune the system. QuantumScape currently has no significant revenue, but it holds enough cash to fund operations for several years without raising new capital. This gives the company time to focus on execution rather than short-term sales. So where are these batteries actually being used as of now? QuantumScape's cells are not powering any consumer electric cars. Their most visible real-world demonstration came in late 2025 when the company showcased an electric Ducati motorcycle powered by QSE-5 cells. This was a major milestone. It proved that the batteries could operate under real riding conditions, delivering high power and energy density in a working vehicle. For passenger cars, QuantumScape is still in the testing phase. Cells are being delivered to automotive partners for evaluation against strict performance targets, such as fast charging from 10% to 80% in under 15 minutes and very high energy density. Before any battery can go into mass-produced cars, it must survive years of testing and millions of miles of driving data. That process takes time. Early adoption is likely to start with premium or niche vehicles, where higher battery costs are easier to justify. Over time, as costs fall, the technology could move into mainstream electric vehicles. At first glance, today's prices may seem hard to justify, but the performance gains are significant. These batteries can store far more energy in the same space, which means longer driving range without adding weight. Charging times approach the convenience of refueling a gas car. Longer battery life also reduces replacement costs over the vehicle's lifetime. When viewed this way, the early premium makes sense for manufacturers aiming to differentiate their vehicles. Competing solid-state efforts are still at similar or earlier stages, reinforcing the idea that this is a long-term transition rather than an overnight change. These batteries are not yet everywhere, and they are not yet cheap, but they are no longer just an idea. They are being built, tested, and improved step by step, and that is how real technological shifts begin. Please share your opinion in the comments section below this video. Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next breaking Tesla update. It's coming in just 2 days. If you want to explore more exciting information about Tesla EV or Tesla Bot, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video. Also, make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye.